we've got obviously Mark Cadwallader's come back.
Yeah.
And we've got Dave Stevenson as well, who's coming. What's the thinking behind that? I mean, is it a way of motivating the team to keep it fresh, or do you feel that you're weak in those positions?
Well, obviously we let Scott Beckett go, so I've been looking for a new midfielder. I have had many offers offering the services as midfielders, but it had to be the right one for us. The right one for us as a group, as well as the right one for the team. We all know what Caddy gives us. He's a fantastic lad around the club. As well as his goals that he scores for us, and he's a great acquisition, and one that I know a lot of Welsh Premier clubs wanted, and we beat 2 or 3 of them to him, so I think it says where we are.
I mean, you say about the right type of player, and I mentioned to you earlier before the camera went on about the team spirit. There's a good team spirit, a good attitude, but you know, you only get the players for 2 nights a week. You've got to have the sort of characters that are going to look after themselves. You know, when you say the right type of player, is that, you know, is that what you're looking for? Someone who can look after himself, someone who you can trust?
100%. I mean, at this level, like you said, we don't have them 5 days a week, 6 days a week, however many days. So it's important that you get lads in with the right attitude. Not just to look after themselves physically, but the right attitude to go and win games as well, which is, as a group, we've got a lot of winners in our group. Caddy's a winner as well. You know, he's proved it in the past. He's done well at the start of the season this year as well. And like I said, we're all delighted that he's come back, and most importantly of all, Caddy's delighted to be back as well.
I mean, we spoke again about the team spirit and the training, and we spoke about the methods of training as well. I mean, obviously everybody's remarked on the fact that you like to get the ball on the floor in games on a Saturday and knock it around a little bit, and you're training on a very tight 6-a-side pitch there. I mean, is that intentional? Yeah,
100%. I mean, you look at a lot of the work we do, even when we're away from here, is numbers of players in tight areas, and I always say to the players that if you can deal with the ball and you can deal with it in them tight areas, come a Saturday on a big pitch, you know, when you've got a little bit more time, everything becomes a little bit easier to you. So yeah, we have crowded areas, tight areas, and it gets the boys thinking a little bit quicker, and the reactions and the touch has got to be better, otherwise they lose the ball and they've got to work hard to get it back.
I mean, obviously we spoke about the style of football. Is it more important to you to be, you know, playing that attractive football, or would you rather, you know, in the context of the league, would you settle for sort of 1-0 boring Arsenal every week?
It's a results business, you know, and at the end of the day I'll be judged and the players will be judged on results. However, that put to one side, I would never go out and get results in ways that certain teams do. It's not in my nature, it's not in the players' nature, because I recruit them, and I wouldn't bring players in who could only play one way. In my opinion, if you can play this way, the other way, going back to front as long as you can is easy, but it doesn't work the other way. If you can go back to front, it doesn't mean you can step into this team and come and play. So I'm a big believer in playing that way, and like I've said in the past, I do think it's a big point as why our crowds have been as good. I think if we were lumping it into corners, going fighting and scrapping with a load of old ex-pros or ex-non-league players who were over the hill, I don't think as many would be coming through the gate, but they come through the gate because some of these lads excite them.
Well, you say they are coming through the gate, and it's been a good season, like you say, a results business, halfway through the season. Fantastic really to be top of the table. What, dropped 4 points during the league so far? Amazing. I mean, do you think you can sustain it, really?
Yeah, we're disappointed about the 4 we dropped, if truth be told. You know, we were a little bit sloppy when we was away at Buckley, 2-0 up, but it maybe was a little kick up the backside we needed. And I say on Saturday, I think the lads were outstanding. You know, to play for as long as they did with 10 men, and not only play for as long, but play in the manner that they did, and still be the better team for the majority of the second half. I think hats off to the lads, both fitness-wise and desire. You know, they had a real desire to go and win that game. Whether they had 10 men, 9 men, it didn't matter. You know, and we're just looking forward. You know, what we've done, and we're proud of. But now it's all about Saturday, and after Saturday, it's about the next Saturday. And if we take it that way, hopefully, you know, we'll keep focused.
Leaving Saturday aside for a second, you mentioned desire there, and after last season, it must have been a bit of disappointment not to get up, because for so long you were really in the hunt, weren't you? How have you kept the squad and yourself motivated to go at it again this season with the vigour and the impressive play that you've had?
Like I've said at the beginning of the interview, we're winners. You know, the majority of my lads in there, in fact all of my lads in there, myself, my coaching staff, we don't like losing. You know, losing games, losing leagues, losing cups, whatever they may be, and that's the desire, and that's that's what makes you strive to improve and get better. To next year, we're going to improve on that. That's what we set out. We went for the players that we thought could improve us. Touch wood, they have. And now, like you say, it's a case of keeping the players together, keeping the focus, and keeping the belief that what we're doing is right, which it's got to be because it's producing good results. And if we keep them things together, then I think all them things in the mixing pot together, hopefully you get the right results.
With the group of players that you've got, if, let's say, you get to the Premier League and it all works well, you've got the same squad of players, you're not able to sort of strengthen, could this set of players do a job in the Welsh Premier?
Definitely. I mean, these lads, one of the things as well last year, each year that I've been here, I've had to start from fresh in the summer to try and build the squad. This year is the first year that I've managed to retain the majority of the squad. And it isn't a coincidence that consistency and continuity between the squad and keeping the players alongside each other, playing alongside, knowing each other's good parts and bad parts, it just breeds a better team. And the longer you can keep them together, as long as they're good players, obviously, then the better they will become. So this year, I think we're getting a lot of fruit from last year's hard work, and hopefully we can keep them together again. Who knows what these boys can do?
Most fans would agree that you've done a great job here with the team, and I wouldn't say that you were. I would say that there must have been the odd sort of offer or chat about something different. What keeps you here? What keeps you motivated?
As I've said, I've got a lot of respect for a lot of people here. It isn't just a football club. It's people's lives. People live for the football club. And I think when you know a lot of these people, and I've grown very close to a lot of these people, you want them to have that success. And hopefully, myself and the lads can bring them this. Because I know we're not in a position where we want to be. Everyone wants to be in the higher league. So hopefully we can do that. And like I said, for myself and the lads, that's what we want to do.
Alright, let's turn our attentions to Saturday then. Live game, S4C, very exciting. Can we win?
100%. We wouldn't go if we couldn't win. I'd send the reserves, or I'd send the academy boys. We won't waste our time getting on the coach and going. We've got a great belief about us. Obviously we're going to need a little bit of luck on the day. However, with the attacking options that we've got, we're big believers that we can score goals against most teams. I don't think there's been a game this year that we haven't scored a goal. So we're big believers that we can create chances and score goals. Like I said, they've got good options going forward as well. Jordan Follows is a very good player who we're going to have to keep our eye on. But like I've said, we're confident as a group. We'll go there as always and give it everything that we've got. And hopefully that'll be enough on the day.
Are you not tempted to just hold a couple of players back? Because, at the end of the day, the league's got to be the priority. Or do you just want it all?
It's a game of football. We want to win it. And that goes for anything. You've just watched training there, and when we train, we train to win. And for me, as a football player growing up and being a football player all my life, you can't switch it on and off like a tap. It doesn't work that way. You either want to win or you don't. And that goes through everything, whether you're playing cards, whether you're playing five-a-side, and it doesn't matter what cup game, what league game, you want to win it. And I do as a manager, my coaching staff do, and my players do. So 100%, whatever's it put in front of us, we'll go to win.
So you'd settle for Europe through the cup this year then?
We'll just do our best, and we'll see we'll get through Saturday. Like I said, give it our best shot Saturday, and then who knows what'll happen.